how to start a beef business from scratch, even if you have zero customers. If you are still selling to the sales barn, you are leaving 50 to 70% of your profit behind. And I'm going to tell you how we went from almost losing our ranch to making over $1 million in beef sales a year. The traditional model is broken. I know beef prices are high, and I know everybody wants to take their calves, their steers, their heifers, etc. to auction. But if you held onto them for just a little bit longer, you would still make so much more selling as beef. We'll get into a lot of that later, but I just want to show you how you start your beef business from scratch, even if you have zero customers. The packers control the pricing, that you need to be in charge of your own destiny. I know that sounds super corny, but it's true. You need to be in charge of the prices that you can demand for your own beef, because that is the only way that you're going to make money in this market. And us as farmers, we're stuck working harder and harder and harder, and we get paid less and less. So again, we need to control the pricing. So what I teach, and this is what I do, this is how we did it. You need customers before you process. Don't go and process beef and have a freezer full of beef and then try to sell. It's not going to work. You need to have those customers before you have the beef processed. And you need to build that demand. You need to build the demand for your beef before processing. It's putting the cart before the horse. You need to make sure you have customers to buy your beef before you take that steer to the processor. And to enable you to do that, you need to build demand. There are so many people out there who want to purchase farm to fork, who want to purchase direct from a farmer, and they just don't know how. They don't know you exist yet. So you have to build that demand first. And you can sell in bulk. So you can sell quarters, sides, whole, and you can sell bundles depending what processor you use, but don't sell individual cuts. Don't do it. As a farmer, don't do it. We do not sell individual cuts, and I do not recommend you sell individual cuts. And use social media. Social media is one of the most important parts of this whole puzzle. Be where the customers are. Years gone by, you would go to where all your customers congregate. So if you wanted to target gym goers, you would put flyers up in a gym. Now, everybody is in here. Everybody is in social media. I don't care how old you are. You have a social media account. So you as a farmer need to be inside social media. So social media, you have to get their email address. We'll go over that later as well. But social media, email, online store. And if you are already selling direct, I guarantee you are doing all of this. These are common mistakes, and I guarantee you are making, if not one of them, all of them. Number one is underpricing your beef. It honestly hurts my heart when I see farmers selling their beef for $3 a pound hanging weight or $4 a pound hanging weight. You would get more taking that to the auction and selling it live than you would trying to sell it at $3 a pound hanging weight. You are underpricing your beef. I have some prices here. So here, this is organic ground. So this is kind of like the top level ground beef just at Walmart. And it is $8.27 a pound. $8.27 a pound for ground beef at Walmart. And even if you don't want to do organic, just like their next kind of extra lean ground beef, it's $7.97 a pound, so $8 a pound. If Walmart is selling ground beef at $8 a pound, you should not be selling your beef at $4 per pound hanging weight. Even $5 per pound hanging weight, you are losing money. The other thing you shouldn't be doing, and I bet you shouldn't be saying beef for sale. So if you are posting pictures like this, they don't work. They don't like, just you think, well, this is a great picture. There is asparagus and it's green and there's beef there. It is not a great picture. It is not going to sell your beef. Or if your social media looks like this, again, that's not going to sell your beef at all. We have maybe one picture of beef in there, and all the rest is tractors and cattle and farm life. That is not going to sell your beef. Here's another one. Not going to sell your beef. So what you post on social media really does matter. And if you're posting things like this, it doesn't work. You need to do more. And you need to train your customer. You need to get rid of those limiting beliefs. So if you think that no one around me is going to buy my beef, or no one around me is going to pay that price, then they're not your customers. Don't limit yourself to just my town. You need to look 4 to 6 hours away, and I guarantee there are millions of people ready and waiting to purchase your beef. So in a nutshell, that's kind of how to start your beef business from scratch. You need to have social media. You need to have a website. You need to use email. And you need to have an online store. But more importantly than that, you need to understand how to price your beef. And we will get to all of this in some later videos. But for now, my next video is, I'll show you exactly how we built our beef business on just 6 acres with 4 steers. 6 acres, 4 steers, and we now make over $1 million a year in beef sales. So stay tuned for the next video.